Okay, so in last week's video I said that I was going to be showing how I overhauled my Tamiya TT-02 because it desperately needed some work done because this is actually before I did it at Froome Radio Control Car Club that I did recently. But I don't know if you can see it on the camera there. I'll probably just tap it just so you can see it better. But you can probably make out that it's cracked along the front there. I might do a close-up about that because I don't know how well you just saw that. But basically this thing needs a new base. It needs a new servo horn. It needs a new servo holder. I've now got a few extras as well to help this perform a lot better out on the track. So let's get into this. Yeah, so you can just about see where it's cracked along there as well. And right there is you can just see it a lot better there, but there's the reason why I need to replace everything. And so I'll just take the body clips off and take the body off so you can see how much worse where it is actually inside. So probably can't see very well with the steering. But yeah, that did not hold up well, which is weird because this is ABS and it's supposed to be tough stuff. I guess that this not being the correct servo horn played a part in it. I do have a newer one and I'll show you that when I get all the parts together and I completely overhaul this thing, and let's just get on with it. Okay, so what am I going to be doing with this? Well, first thing first, obviously I need to replace the base, which I've got a brand new one, which actually wasn't that expensive to buy. I spent just under £9 on a massive piece of ABS plastic, and that's pretty good for itself. And this is actually the first time I've taken it out there. So next plan is to get that one. That's the first priority. Also, what I'm going to be doing as well is this servo horn wasn't made for the TT-02, that's going to be coming off, so I'm going to be replacing it with this from Tamiya Racing Factory, which I have been using in my TT-02B and have had no issues in terms of cracks with this servo in. And also, now that I'm using my flask, I can turn down the dual rate just to be safe. So the next also plan of action is to get rid of the friction shocks, because who even likes friction shocks anyway? So I actually found these oil-filled shocks, which come pre-assembled, and I think I bought these for, I think about £12, I think, just from AliExpress, and they are metal and do feel quite robust, even though I haven't taken them out of the packet yet. In fact, while I haven't done this, let me just take them out and just see how they feel. And oh, they're quite a lot lighter than I thought, and they do feel quite nice, yeah. So really impressed with that. The other thing, actually, while I pointed it out, you may notice the speed controller is missing. That's because this was the speed controller, which I thought was a Hobbywing 1060, but turns out it was a off-brand 1060. So it does similar things to what a 1060 does, but it just died on me out of nowhere at the last time I raced there. And you may notice that the wires are gone. So these are the motor wires, which I'll be repurposing for something else. And as for the battery wire, it's actually fitted on here onto a genuine Hobbywing Quick Run 1060. So, because XT60 connectors are just my go-to, because I just prefer them rather than any other connector. And what I've also done here is I've used some soldering tubes that you don't need to use a soldering iron with. All you need to do is just use a hot air gun or something that blows out hot air. And it holds on quite nicely, and it's actually quite thick and robust. So what else is I'm going to be doing? So the servo bracket I'm not going to be using, because I've now got an all-metal one, which should hold it in a lot better than the standard TT-02 ones. And a couple of things I did actually 3D print as well was these, which are some stone guards. However, I printed them because I thought that they would hold together the steering columns a lot better. And we've also got this, which I printed, which was a... It's... I'm trying to think what the proper term for this was, but it was... Actually, I think I'll need to think about that, but I'm trying to think what the proper term for this was, but it's... Stiffener, that was it. Yeah, so I pre-printed a stiffener, just as an extra thing, just for reassurance, but... I probably got about an hour and a half to try and do this because of other stuff I need to be doing later today. But let's crack on with this.
Done shit. Done shit.
Right, well with that done, and before I do show you what I've done, this was the old base, and as you can see how it's been pretty much mutilated, probably because I didn't have the dual rate turned down on the old transmitter that I used, but now that with my fly sky one I'll be able to do that. And also here, yeah, I'm glad I kind of replaced this now, because had I replaced it in this form while it was on the track, I couldn't pretty much use this anymore anyway because of this error being broken, and I just really couldn't steer the thing. So this is pretty much history, and here is what I've done. So the stiffener, you may notice first off the bat here, I kind of probably should have put washers down there because it did kind of crush the holes a little bit. I'll bring it a bit closer as you can see. So we've got our Hobbywing ESC here, all metal servo holder, a dedicated servo horn rather than that one that I used previously. The fly sky receiver is just at the back there. In terms of the car itself, not really that much difference. Oh yeah, so oil filled suspension. So if I just, yeah, that is definitely a lot better and a lot smoother than these friction ones, which I used previously. So these I'm going to be getting rid of. Might see if there's somebody at Free Radio Control Car Club that might want them, but not sure how much charge is actually in the pack, but I thought I'd give it a little test drive outside quickly. Okay, I'm not going to go too crazy with this because I want to see if I can use my GT3B and drive the thing at the same time, and please don't tell me you're pulling up on here. Okay, she's not, so brilliant. So, this drives. This drives brilliantly. I'd go as far as probably saying it's driving better than it did before, actually. Driving and handling, and I just crashed into my foot. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Picked up a couple of stones, they're on the floor somewhere, but the stone guards which I printed out are from a creator on Thingiverse actually, along with the stiffener bar, have really done the job, and I'm actually happy with the way this thing drives now. So on that little bit there, on that driveway, it drove along quite nicely. The new tyres, which are they're more, I think they're fine for club race, but if I'm going to be racing this in championship events, I'll definitely need to put the Rush pre-glued stuff on. But I may have said this before previously, but this I'm only going to be saving for the clubs, but I'll definitely be building something else to BRCA spec if I do BRCA championship events, because this I'm not going to be putting through that. But anyway, it drives nicely, so this will actually be released the week after I've done Free Radio Control Car Club, because I won't be able to do it the week that this goes out because I'll be driving up to Rotherham. So if you want to see how this got on the track, you can check out last week's video. But until then, I better wrap this up quickly because of so much I've got to get on with ahead of the weekend. But thank you so much for watching, and see you in whatever I get up to next, I guess.